Hello, I'm Pastor Alterri Henri, businessman, pastor, family man, entrepreneur, whatever you want to call me. This is me today explaining to you about business. A lot of people said, Pastor Henri, you preach all the time, you preach hard, Holy Ground Church on YouTube, and you preach hard about all these sins and different things, but you never teach about things that just normal everyday life, business. And so I want to talk to you today about business and about being more prosperous in your life, being more prosperous in your finances, being more prosperous in your endeavors. Whatever you desire to do is simple rules that you have to follow that will take you to another level in your journey. At the end of this, you have an opportunity to buy the full CD and get some inside, in-depth detail on benefiting your life. We're going to start off, and I'm going to read a verse in Scripture from Isaiah 48, verse 17. And it says, "Thus said the Lord, thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, I am the Lord thy God, which teacheth thee to profit," P-R-O-F-I-T, "which leadeth thee by the way that thou should goest." Number 18. "O that thou hast heard to my commandment, had thy peace as a river, and thy righteousness as the waves of the sea." Number 19. "Thy seed also had been as the sands of the offspring of thy bowels, like the gravel thereof. His name shall not have been cut off nor destroyed from before me." Everything that I do is in the paths of God. Even on teaching you about this benefiting of the business world and all these different things, everything I do is by the paths of God. So we're going to talk today about endeavors in your life and wanting to do business and all these things. First of all, our rewards in life will always be as much as you give away. Our rewards in life, the things that you obtain, will be only as much as you give away. Even the Scripture says that he would rather a man give it than to receive it. You know, our rewards in life will be as much as we give away, meaning as much as our service. As much as you give, you know, freely given, freely receive. As much as you can bless someone, as much as you can be of help, as much as you can be of assistance, then the Bible also says that your natural man will grow as your spirit man grows. So everything we do has to be in direct concordance with what we give away. The need for what you do on a job, when you go to work or wherever you're employed at, you know, even if you own your own business, but if you go to work, the need for what you do has to be how well do you do it. You have to understand how well do you do it. Well, to your boss, how well do you do your job, and how much difficulty will it be to replace you in that field. You know, if you're on a job, you have to do your job so well that your employer will be like, man, it is almost virtually impossible to find someone else to do this job exactly like this or better. So you make yourself unexpendable. You make yourself top priority. You make yourself the best at what you do, to where your employer shall see it and shall recognize it. The gold mine. We're going to speak about the gold mine. The gold mine is a thing that's between those ears. You know, the gold mine is your brain, the thing that God has given you. You know, he said in all your getting, in the Scripture, he says, get what? An understanding. In all of your getting, get an understanding. The gold mine, the only thing about a man, if you look at science about a man and you look up anatomy, it says the only thing different between a man, a horse, and a pig is his mind. The only thing different between a man, a horse, and a pig is his mind, his ability to think. One idea that you can think of can make you rich. One idea. One idea that you come up with today or tomorrow could change your destiny. One idea could change your life. One idea could change your future, your kids' future, your grandkids' future. One idea could change everything. Now remember that next year, those ideas will always get better and better. So don't focus on what's going on with someone else. Just one idea could change your very existence. It's been said that if you kidnap a man and you blindfold this man and you bring him to any city throughout the U.S. and you drop him off in the middle of the city and you put him in a chair, you strap him down, you take his blindfold off, and you ask him what city is he in, and it's been said that he could sit there for a whole week and would not be able to tell you what city he is in based on sitting on that city block. Because mostly everything in the city has been built on followers. Everything is trained to follow, to look alike. When a man goes into a business, the first thing he does is he makes sure that his business, inside and outside, looks like the business of his type, inside and outside, the business of his kind throughout the country. So that way everybody is just alike. Because he's been playing this copycat game since before he could even think on his own, just like kids do in school. They have to copycat one another. They have to be just alike. That's why everybody, when the Jordans come out, they run to go get the new pair of Jordans, or they don't want to be ostracized, so they have to buy the new clothes or polo or whatever it is. Nobody want to go to the thrift store and save their money and build a business and be able to afford whatever they want later on in life. Everybody wants to be top dog or top of the class or whatever you want to call it. So everyone plays this copycat game. No one wants to be in last place. He don't stand out on his own passion or the love for what he does. He just follows this copycat game and does what everybody else does. By doing this, this guarantees his mediocrity. Whose drum are you marching to? When you build a business, or you work for someone, are you doing your job just like the next person? Are you doing your job the way that your trainer that trained you to do it? Or are you finding ways to make your job more exciting, more creative, and more attainable for you and no one else to just fit your shoes? In the Great Depression, when everyone else was losing money and going under and committing suicide and everything, there was a guy who was getting rich off of everyone with a lumber yard. And when he was asked, they said, why in the world is everybody in this depression failing, but your business seemed to be just succeeding by astronomical leaps and bounds? He said, because every day when I get home, I kiss my wife and kids, and I talk to them, and I play with them, and whatever it takes. And he said, then I go into my little room, my little closet, and I pray to God. And I ask God to show me a vision. As he said in the Bible, he said the old men would dream dreams and young men would see visions. He said, show me a vision that how my business will be in the next 10 years. Show me a vision of how my business will be 10 years from now, successfully being ran by the top CEO, which is myself. And he said, once God showed him this vision, or show him his business as full-fledged 10 years from now, then he said, what I do is I try to copy what God showed me my business will be 10 years from now. Some of you need to stop waiting and making these false pledges and false accusations, basically. Every year Passover, every year you follow this pagan goddess named Junus. When January Passover is pagan goddess, where everybody make a New Year's resolution. No, you need to make yourself remember what you're going to do 10 years from now, or 5 years from now, if that matters, and you follow that regimen now, because you're going to be ahead of the game whenever the time comes. Instead of doing what everybody else was doing, he decided to do what God showed him he would be doing 10 years from now, and that made him stay above float, in which ultimately he took over and put everybody out of business. A company growing at a rate of 10% a year, only 10% a year, will double its size in less than 8 years. But a man who can change himself 50% a year will not only change his life, change his company, but he will change his atmosphere of everyone around him if he can just change himself. Sometimes we work on changing the company, but we never change ourselves. We need to use more of our real abilities in the things that we do in life. We need to start getting up a little earlier. If you get up at least an hour earlier every day in the morning, then you will be 95% ahead of every competitor you have just by getting up 1 hour earlier. If you get up 1 hour earlier a day, my mathematics tells me that 6.5 weeks of a 40-hour week, 6.5 weeks more than your competitors each year. So that means you have lived and been awoke 6.5 weeks more than your competitors each year based on getting up just 1 hour earlier. 1 hour earlier to work out if you need to lose weight. 1 hour earlier to exercise. 1 hour earlier to meditate. 1 hour earlier to pray. 1 hour earlier to seek God. 1 hour earlier to build your business plan. To build the mold, the structure. 1 hour earlier to get yourself prepared for your morning. And just 1 hour earlier a day could change your life dramatically. Early in the morning, get out a clean sheet of paper. And on that clean sheet of paper, you need to write down what your ideas is that you have come up with. You need to focus on coming up with 5 ideas a day. 5 ideas a day is 25 ideas a week. And that's not including thinking on the weekends. 25 ideas a week, one idea may be the hit idea. So you need to take time to come up with 5 ideas a day and in ways to increase your contribution not only to your job, not only to your family, but to society. Ways to increase your contributions in life. Who knows that you don't have the idea for the future right in your head, the gold mine, that could change someone else's life also. No matter what line of work you do, there's within it more than enough opportunities to last a lifetime. Just think of more opportunities and just think of more ways of improving what is being done already. It's all in that gold mine that's between your ears. All the thinking, all the knowledge. Even if someone says it's a stupid idea, write it down. Because guess what? Many quote-unquote stupid ideas that became multi-million-dollar ideas when someone else had said it was stupid because they didn't think of it, or they said it was stupid because they couldn't see the vision. Many of our ideas will be worthless. Some of them will be very good, and few will be excellent. But every once in a while, you will come up with something that's really, really outstanding. You see 5 ideas a day, as I said, it's 25 ideas a week. And 25 ideas a week, that's more than 1,000 ideas a year that you have came up with, and it only takes one idea to change your life. Always believe that the goals you are shooting for is a sure thing, and it can be hit. So a lot of times we don't believe in ourselves enough. We don't have enough faith to believe that the goals that we are shooting for is obtainable. We just watch TV and we imagine, and we imagine ourselves having this and having that, and we never can see that those goals are right at our fingertips. And so we lose out on an opportunity of a lifetime. I want to say that Henry Ford didn't start making cars. He wasn't even successful yet, but he didn't even start making cars until he was 45 years old. And this is the largest car duplicator in the world, Henry Ford, the Ford. He was 45 years old when he first started his business, and he didn't become successful until he was around 63. KFC man that started Kentucky Fried Chicken, multi-millionaire, didn't start Kentucky Fried Chicken until he was 66 years old. That's the current. And he didn't become successful until he began to franchise around the age of 75. So there's never a missed opportunity. You can always have an opportunity of a lifetime to be successful at what you do. You just cannot stop. You cannot stop doing what you do. You cannot stop dreaming. You cannot stop thinking. You cannot stop wanting God to profit you, as the scriptures say. He said, I will profit you. Keep your thinking controlled and keep it in whatever field you specialize in. One of my problems years ago was I had too many businesses and not enough money. I would see this idea, and I would see this idea, and I would see that idea, and this idea, and I just wanted to open a business. I wanted to open every business. I wanted to do everything I could possibly do, and I had businesses running, and I was losing money left and right because I wasn't focusing on one specific thing. Well, a really wise person told me that you need to focus on one thing. And when I begin to focus my energy on one thing, then that one business that I specialized in made more money than the 6 businesses that I had. I specialized in one, and I multiplied my profits times 6, or times 10, better yet, so to speak. We need to specialize in something that you love to do. Now for the special word of the day, your attitude. It has been said that your attitude determines your altitude. Your attitude always will determine how high you go. You have a nasty attitude, doors will close for you. You have a nasty attitude, doors will not open for you. You have a nasty attitude, people won't want to be around you. People will shun you. People will talk about you. They're going to hate on you anyway, but they're going to hate on you more with a bad attitude. Human beings can alter their lives by utterly having an attitude or changing their attitudes within their minds. Growing up as a child, I had bad attitude. And a lot of doors were closed for me within my own family because all I heard was, he's a rebellious child. Now as I begin to get older and God began to deal with me more, my attitude began to leave, and begin to diminish, and I began to see things clearly. And so I went from being the rebellious child to the one that people looked up to, wanted to follow, wanted to get an understanding. So to some of you out there who have these children that's like this, don't be surprised if this be the same one that God uses or raises up as he did with Moses to bring the family out of bondage, or bring the people out of Israel, or bondage from Pharaoh, or to bring your family out of poverty, or whatever it may be. Don't be surprised if this very one who you're shunning and turning away and talking about, life don't turn around and change your life forever. So be careful with who you shun with your attitude. Your total environment is an exact and total mirror of you as a human being. Now, if you feel your environment can stand some improvement, you have only to improve your attitude, and your world will gradually change to reflect the changing person. You have to change your attitude to change your atmosphere. And once your atmosphere changes, then your world will change to reflect the changing person. You want your attitude, you want your atmosphere to change, you want to have more money and finances, you see that you've been struggling forever and it's not going anywhere, change your atmosphere. Change the people you hang around. Maybe the people you hang around is leeches. Maybe they're pulling you down. Maybe they're not going nowhere. So the spirit of failure is all around you. Change the conversation you have from negative to positive. Change your atmosphere and watch your atmosphere change you. Begin now to act as the person that you wish to become. If you wish to become a businesswoman or a businessman, then what you need to do is you begin to dress the part of that businesswoman or businessman. Begin to speak like they speak. Begin to go after the position that they go after. You know, one thing I say all the time, I wanted a job, and in the field I'm in moving and storage. And I wanted a job, and this was before I began to start the company. And a guy that I wanted a job from, he kept turning me down. He was, no, I'm not hiring, no, I'm not hiring, no, I'm not hiring. And I'm sharing this with you, I'm making it quick because you're going to have to buy the CD to get the full extent of it. But he wouldn't hire me. He didn't have a position for me, and I couldn't blame him. He was full, he wasn't a large enough company, but it was $1 million company. And I wanted to learn from him. So what I did was I began to pray to God, and God showed me a vision that many of you need to see. You pay for school, you pay for college. You go there, you're getting all kind of debt with college, you're getting all kind of debt with financial aid, you're getting all kind of debt with student loans and all the other things you get in debt with credit cards or whatever it is. You pay for college, but you don't want to work for free. So God showed me, you pay for college and you owe. But there's a way that you can get the skill you acquire and never owe a dime. Your time is your money. That old saying that says time is money, well, let's make that factual. And so I went to this guy and he said, I don't have a job for you. I said, well, how about I work for free? He looked at me, he was like, man, this is crazy. I never heard nobody want to work for free. I said, yes, sir, I want to work for free because you are the best and I want to learn what you do. He said, okay, well, come on. So I worked for free, and that was my way of saying, okay, I'm paying for college. I'm paying for this skill. I'm paying for this school. I'm paying for this understanding. Because in all you're getting, you got to get an understanding. And I'm learning by the best, hands-on. So you can't even pay for that in college. You read books and you learn from some books. But I'm learning from the teacher, hands-on, the sensei. So as I began to work and I began to outwork some of the other ones, he couldn't take it any longer. After about 2 days, he said, man, I just got to pay you because you're too good. And you catch on quick. And so my apprenticeship that was for free got me paid. And so I began to learn from the owner, got paid, and the rest is history. And now we're running a multi-million-dollar moving and storage company a year. So we thank God for an opportunity to share our vision with you, and that way your vision can be increased. Anything that you desire, never give up, never give in. Don't take no for an answer. If they won't open the door when you knock, then you kick it in. You don't allow the devil to tell you that you can't achieve. You change your atmosphere, and your altitude will change. You change your atmosphere, and your atmosphere will change you. Tune in for the next lesson. Holy Ground Church, Pastor Alterri Henri. Buy the CD. You can request the CD at 337-377-7444 at any time you desire. We love you. We hope that we helped you today. And if you're thinking about opening a business or being greater in the business that you are in, then you need this CD. You need understanding. You need doctrine. You need a way to continue on keeping on. Be blessed.